Right, so this is a bit of a digression from what I normally discuss. I know there's a few Pokemon Let's Plays on this channel, but it's not my main area of expertise. But the awesomeness of this miniseries can no longer be contained. Like, I need to talk about this with somebody or else my brain is just going to fucking explode. First off, if you are unaware of Pokemon Generations, like if this is the first time you're hearing it from me and you're wondering like what that is, just pause this video now and I'm not that interesting. Just go and watch it. Just go type in Pokemon Generations. It's on YouTube. If you're a Pokemon fan, it doesn't even matter if you're a diehard Pokemon fan. If you're just a casual Pokemon fan and you haven't watched the anime since you were a kid, you will like this. You will love this. Okay, you will want to have sex with this, okay? So just go and look it up, and then you'll know I'm not lying, and come back here later, or not. It doesn't matter. You already watched it. Clearly, you're watching me right now. You could just go away and just immerse yourself in the miniseries. Every Pokemon fan, worth their salt. Anybody that's been a fan ever since they were little kids and you grew up with the anime, by the time that you were probably a teenager or something, and you liked anime as well, just in general, you were probably wondering, are they ever going to make a Pokemon anime that's actually, like, really good? Like, I'm not knocking the anime. I mean, I have some very fond memories of the anime, but it's certainly something that's, primarily aimed towards children. And I could still watch some of the old episodes now just for nostalgia's sake, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't been keeping up with the, anything after the Hoenn League. I haven't watched at all. Black and White, Best Wishes, X and Y, all that shit, no. It's primarily aimed toward children, but that's a problem because so much of the fan base of Pokemon are now my age, in their early 20s and around that age that we grew up with it, and we're still fans of this series. It didn't just stay limited to the like below 10 demographic. So we always wonder, are they ever going to make an anime that's pretty badass? And probably the closest thing we got was Pokemon Origins a few years back, and it was a really good series. I didn't really hear a lot of complaints about Pokemon Origins, except for the fact it was only 4 episodes long. It was like an anniversary special sort of thing, and that was a big deal, and everything. But I mean, it could have kept going, and I think everyone would have loved it. And now we get this mini series, Pokemon Generations, a series of a very short, maybe like 2, 3, 4 minutes long episodes, just chronicling major events throughout the Pokemon series. And it is far superior than the anime with Ash and his blunders and shit like that. Like, look, I'm not knocking Ash. I'm knocking Ash. Yeah, Ash kind of sucks, like, big time. This series does a great job of immersing you in this world. Keep in mind, like, very short episodes, but it does a way better job of immersing you in this world where Pokemon exist, where there are these monsters that, we have just become part of our everyday lives, and they can be utilized for, assisting us, just in everyday tasks, or helping us defeat, the bad guys and aiding the bad guys. They're all really good at doing that, okay? You see Pokemon utilized here in this miniseries that is, dare I say, oh, damn, what's that word that I never say in the original anime? Clever, yeah. The Pokemon used here, the way that they're utilized, they're actually, like, clever. Like, in one of the first few episodes where they were in the Viridian series, and Viridian City, and they were about to raid Giovanni's hideout, and one of the police officers uses a Magnemite to, like, short out the electrical, like, the security system. I'm like, that makes perfect sense. Like, that makes absolute perfect sense. Like, if you were living in this world and, all right, there's a high-tech security system, maybe if we had some sort of, like, electrical charge to, like, pulse through it, something that would normally be like a device, in our world, be like, well, no, we have this fucking sentient magnet that can do it for us. And, like, that's pretty cool, and it can also fight. The aspects of the game are utilized, but they actually tweak aspects of the game to make it more sense from a storytelling perspective. One of the biggest faults that you always have in the games that you don't question, because this kind of works for a game, that it's like okay, for example, like you're in the like Team Rocket hideout, right? What happens? Well, you always have the sequential battles. You have a Team Rocket member coming up to you and be like, "I'll fight you," and then you do one-on-one, and then after that guy, another guy comes up to you and is like, "I'll fight you one-on-one," and then, like, they give you money afterwards, and it's just like, from a game perspective, it's fine because you understand you have to level up your Pokemon, you get EXP, you need money to buy shit in-game, so it makes perfect sense why you do that. But if you actually apply any sort of logic in like a storytelling perspective, that would make zero sense why this terrorist organization would be like, okay, small child that broke into our top secret hideout, we're all going to fight you independently now, and if you win, we will give you money and just not bother you after that. Like, it makes no sense. So they tweak little aspects like that, but they still keep the spirit of the game. This recent episode, episode 4, The Lake of Rage, heavily features one of the most badass characters in the entire series, bar none, Lance. Lance and his Dragonite, which, damn, this Dragonite is a fucking dragon! Anybody that doubted Dragonite up to this point, everyone that you always see that meme that's been popping up where you see Dragon, you see Dratini, such an elegant, cute little, beginning stage Pokemon, okay, and then it evolves into Dragonair, so eloquent, so beautiful in its wake, it looks like a genuine dragon, and then the final stage of the evolutionary line is Dragonite, and he's just like, dope. I'm a Dragonite, how you doing? I'm just a big chubby little dragon here. And be like, what happened, dude? What happened? No, this Dragonite, fucking badass. Like, the facial expressions this thing makes, like, you do not want to fuck with this thing in a dark alley. It's like, as soon as it evolved, it looked at itself in the mirror, and he looked at himself, and for a brief second, he felt like, oh, man, this sucks. You're like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this keep me down. I'm a dragon, damn it! I'm still a fucking dragon! And that's where we get. This Dragonite is amazing. It is so damn intimidating. In fact, I think at one point, it actually uses Intimidate. Yeah, that's right. The Pokemon in this series actually utilize the abilities that can be used in the game. So that's the kind of stuff like that isn't really utilized all that much in other forms of Pokemon mediums, outside the games, of course. You have one scene that, it didn't even always have to, like, call back to something bigger. It's just little tiny, like, things that reference the game that make it more real and genuine. Like, there was a scene in the recent episode where Dragonite uses an attack on, like, a group of Pokemon being used by Team Rocket, right? It was like a Grimer and a Houndour and a Golbat and Eradicate and a Magnemite. And out of all the Pokemon, they just got dropped by this one attack, but then the Magnemite begins to, like, stutter back up, and it begins to, like, glitch out, but it begins to stand back up after it got hit. It knocked out every other Pokemon, but the Magnemite began to stand up, and you know what that is? That's sturdy. The Magnemite had sturdy as an ability, and it didn't go anywhere. It's not like it meant anything. The Dragonite just attacked it again, and then that just wiped them all out, but, that was so clever. I'm like, oh my god, that's such a thank you. Thank you for having some actual love for this franchise to the point that you would actually include something like that in there. Other things about the games that don't make much sense is, okay, Pokemon can only learn 4 moves. I always thought, like, okay, these are really highly intelligent beings. Well, most of them are anyway. They should at least be able to learn more than 4 moves, and Lance's Dragonite knows more than 4. I'm fine with that. Once again, something that makes more sense for a game, because, you don't want your Pokemon being too OP in the game. But in real life, that's what this feels like. It feels like, yeah, if these Pokemon really existed in real life, this is how they would be utilized, and this is how they would work. Other difference from the game is we see Lance coming across the electrodes that are being contained in the Team Rocket hideout that are used to power their facility. And in the game, you have to go fight them independently and knock them all out, basically. Here, Lance's Dragonite just throws a freaking, like, out, just goes and kind of goes on, like, an outrage or something, I don't know, and just wrecks the entire place and just frees the electrode, and the electrode just all float away, and it's really cool, and they just electrocute. I think his name is, what was his name? Proton, I think, the guy with the purple hair. It's just, I love this series, I really do, and it's sad that it's only brief shorts, although that might be a good thing, I don't know. It gets right to the freaking chase, it's like, okay, here's chronicling the events of Lake of Rage, here you go, 3 minutes, and already I'm in love with this series more than the entire arc in the freaking anime, and I'm just even more pumped that we're going through these stories that were touched upon in the anime or touched upon in the games, but it's from a different perspective. We don't follow the main characters typically. In one of the episodes, we follow Looker around. In another episode, in this one, we follow Lance around. The other one, the last week was brilliant. It was Blue fighting against the Elite Four. It was Blue on his first run through the Elite Four, because by the time you get there in the games, he's already won, and he's already the champion. Well, haven't you ever wondered, how Blue took on the Elite Four? Well, there you go. And once again, very short, but it manages to tell the story perfectly, keeping with the characters' personalities and how they act, and leading up with the scenes that we all know and love. It kind of, has us fill in the blanks ourselves from the games, We're the ones, I'm the one playing Red in this game. Okay, I'm the one that goes through the Elite Four and everything, but now we get to Blue's perspective, and at the end of the short, it's, Red appearing, ready to take on Blue, and it picks up with the game, how we actually take him on. So, very loyal to the franchise, takes things from the games, tweaks them around to make sense for a storytelling perspective, immerses us in this world. I know it sounds like I'm kind of jacking off this freaking miniseries, but I really find that it's probably the best Pokemon medium I have ever watched. Maybe the only one that comes close is Origins. And I've even read some of the manga, like Adventures and the Electric Tail of Pikachu. I don't know why I brought the Electric Tail of Pikachu up, but it's not, it's okay, but it's not, anything to write home about. But Pokemon Adventures is also very good. But in terms of anime, I want to say this is the best. I hope that this, it's only supposed to continue until December, I think. But I hope it keeps on going longer than that. I don't know if this would work so much as, a full animated series, 20-25 minute long episodes or anything like that, but you could keep these shorts going for a long time, just all the different crazy events that occur in the Pokemon universe. I can't wait to Gen 5 for that reason. I can't wait until we get to characters like N, and also in Gen 4 with the legend of Arceus and shit like that. I can't wait till we get to those events. We just got into Johto now, and we're just going up the line chronicling these main events. So when we get into storylines like in Gen 4 and Gen 5 that are more elaborate storylines than just go and collect them all and fight against the Elite Four, something a little bit more elaborate than that in Gen 5, I find it would work perfectly for this. It also helps that it's already in English dub. It's not taken over from the Japanese or anything. It's from the English dub, which maybe some people would have to complain about that. I'm native English speaker, so that's just fine with me. But they got voice actors from the anime, from serious voice actors. It's not just random people they got on the street. I think the last one featured I forget his name, but he voiced Uryu Ishida in Bleach. I know his name, it's just escaping me at the moment. But so they got good quality voice actors for this series. But yeah, I would check it out if you haven't already. I don't know why you wouldn't be if you would just be listening to me ramble on, but I felt like I just needed to talk about this. I just had to, because every week it just blows me away out of the water even more and more. So yeah, check out Pokemon Generations. God, just please check out Pokemon Generations. Okay, Tekking signing out. Jeez.